Kirk Henry, right? You finna be watching this video, checking out if we should buy, should, we, if, not should, if, what, no, that, um, if PC is better than console. Me personally, I think PC is better than console because the game situations and then like you have a wide variety of stuff you could do on your PC, but it takes more time to like do things. But still, it is better. It's better than just jumping in the game and then both people know what you
Console and PC, two platforms which have been at war for decades. If you want to play games but don't know whether to buy a console or a computer, you're in the right place. In this video, we will discuss who should buy which console and if it would be better to build a PC instead. If you are ready, let's begin. First, you need to understand how the two platforms differ. Consoles. Consoles let you play games without dealing with any extra work. On consoles, you don't have to deal with stuff like modding, graphic settings, or client issues like on PC. You just turn on the console and pick the game. That's all. This is one of the biggest differences. Another important point is ergonomics. You can turn on a small device standing next to the TV, spread out on your armchair or couch, and play comfortably. Also, some consoles can be bought at quite affordable prices thanks to seasonal sales. At these prices, it's often not even possible to find a weaker PC, let alone finding one that gives similar performance. Let's not forget exclusive games. Although most console-exclusive games now come to PC, consoles can still be preferred for games that come out on console first or stay console-exclusive for a while. The latest example of these games is GTA 6, which will come out earlier on consoles. PC. Computers can be used for many different tasks, but in this video, we will only focus on the gaming part. The PC is the best platform for gaming. Hardware restrictions are much fewer compared to consoles. A mid-range or powerful modern PC easily gets higher FPS and better visuals than what you would get from a console. Besides this, game prices are generally more affordable, and since there are many different sales platforms like Steam, GOG,
see what I was saying? I saying on the start of the video. Exactly.
and Humble Bundle, you can easily find the best deals. Also, it allows for pirated games and emulator usage, which makes it possible to play many old and new console games on PC. This is a very important subject in some countries, but since this is a separate debate on its own regarding ethics, I won't get into further detail. Another big advantage is the upgradability. For example, if the GTX 1070 doesn't satisfy you anymore, you can switch to a more recent model, like the RTX 5060 Ti, and play games without issues for a few more years. There is no such option on consoles. Another forgotten thing is the game library. Especially if you are interested in indie games, the first address for most productions in this genre is the PC. PCs are high performance, decently priced, very upgradable, and more accessible for games. So if the PC is this good, why isn't it the only option? The answer is actually very simple. Compared to consoles, playing games with a PC is quite a hassle. If you've been using a PC for years, maybe you're used to this or you might not realize it, but this is a fact. Is the game lagging? You need to play with graphic settings, adjust performance modes, and update your drivers. Is the game poorly optimized for PCs? You need to try the usual solutions. If that doesn't work, tough luck, because there isn't much left you can do. Is there a bug in Windows? You need to look for a solution on Reddit and forums and try the suggested fixes. Is the PC lagging in general? Then you are in deep trouble because the reason could be anything. Your fan might be dusty, your thermal paste might have dried up, or a program you installed might be using too many resources in the background. And this isn't even 1/10 of the list of things that could have happened. For someone who just wants to turn on a device and play games, this is a total nightmare. But that's not all. Another expense that gets overlooked is the equipment cost. On consoles, at least one controller is always included in the box. On the PC side, unless you buy a laptop, expenses start racking up when you include the prices for a keyboard, mouse, and a headset or a sound setup. I'm not even mentioning the desk you will put these on. Yes, you can solve this with low-quality equipment for $50 if you so desire, but this will neither last you a long time, nor will it satisfy you. The biggest problem is this. PC prices are incredibly confusing. Bad PCs are cheap and good PCs are expensive, but that's not the only issue. Material quality also comes into the equation. If you aren't well versed in PC parts, your chance of not getting ripped off when buying a PC is very low. Let me emphasize again. If your only goal is to play games and not deal with anything else, a console would be a much better choice for you. But if you're stuck between console and PC, come with me now. To explain the topic more clearly, I will base this on today's modern consoles. Xbox Series S, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 4 Slim, PlayStation 4 Pro, PlayStation...
Loker, I was thinking about switching over to PS5 or from using Xbox, cause like Xbox, bro, you gotta have Game Pass to do everything. I can't play COD with my friends because you need Game Pass for that. I can't play 2K because you need Game Pass for that. I can't play Apex without Game Pass. I can't. Most of the games I play needs, like everything, you need Game Pass, or you need it to connect with friends, or you can't play crossplay without that. Like, bro, I was doing it before, and now I can't even do it, bro. Like, how crazy is that?
PlayStation 5 Slim, and PlayStation 5 Pro. Since handheld consoles are a completely different category, I won't get into them in this video. If you'd like a video that goes into detail on handheld gaming consoles, including the Steam Deck and ROG Ally, let me know in the comments below. Before consoles, let's talk about PCs that can be built for the price of a console. Excluding limited editions, the most expensive console is the $750 PlayStation 5 Pro. A typical setup you can build at this price on PC Part Picker will likely look like this. I chose the Ryzen 5 5600 because the DDR5 platform is still very expensive. At one point, the i5-13-400F and i5-14-400F were logical, but right now they aren't the best in terms of price to performance. The graphics card I chose here is the Intel Arc B580. Even though it has driver issues, it's still the graphics card that gives the highest performance at this price point. I went for the 1TB SSD and other components due to their price to performance balance. There is no chance for this PC to match the PlayStation 5 Pro in performance. It can only match the base PlayStation 5 at best. Keep in mind that this is $200 more expensive than that, but this one is a PC. In short, PCs you will build in this price point can be entry-level or at most entry mid-level. If you don't specifically need a PC, turning to a console at this budget would be much more logical. So let's now get on to the console brands. Xbox. We can say the Xbox side has slowly started to withdraw from console wars. The signs of this were there because their consoles didn't have a huge appeal other than price for quite a while. However, if we look at their strengths, Game Pass lets you rent a massive game library at an affordable monthly price. Some extra advantages are also included depending on the package contents, like EA Play and Fortnite Crew. This is exactly where Xbox shines the most. The cheap console plus Game Pass combination does a really good job for those who want to play games on a low budget. The only problem is that the library is a bit like Netflix. Occasionally, very high-quality productions arrive, but the majority of the remaining...
Like, Loker, you can't do nothing on Xbox, bro. Everything you got, bro, like, it's a bro. Me personally, I don't like to have restrictions on the games I play. If I'm gonna play it, I need to be playing it at the full extent, bro. I'm not talking about DLCs. Like, I need to be able to play my game full extent. Like, no restrictions. I could talk to my friends. I could play with them in the game. I could do things in the game without needing this certain thing or money to buy this certain thing. I gotta be able to do that. This is why I don't really use my Xbox like that no more because of that. And then, like, I probably use it once in a while, playing with Sonic game or something, but yes, I do know about Sonic.
Remaining games consist of average or below average games we can call shovelware. Another strength of Xbox is Xbox Play Anywhere, the cross-buy setup. If the game you bought has the Play Anywhere tag, you can play it on PC too without paying any extra fee. Moreover, save files can be transferred too. This is a truly great feature. Coming to the topic of exclusives, we can actually say that both Xbox and Sony have slowly become distributors now. Halo and the Forza series came to PlayStation 5, and before that, Helldivers 2 came to the Xbox. I can say that Xbox acts much more aggressively in this regard. PlayStation. For years, PlayStation has been the first brand that comes to mind when someone said console, but they actually experienced a serious decline recently and went for some policy changes. Just like the Xbox Game Pass, they have a service called PlayStation Plus, where you gain access to many games for a monthly fee. However, it differs from Game Pass in some aspects. In certain packages of Game Pass, you can play a newly released game on day one, but in PlayStation Plus, you mostly see AAA games that made a lot of noise back in their time. Unfortunately, the cross-buy setup on Xbox hasn't come to the PlayStation side. However, there are some leaks which claim that setup is on its way. If they will ask for an extra fee or not remains to be seen. Sony clearly indicated that they will open up to PC more in the future. This is a sign that they have started to abandon their classic exclusive policy. Meaning, as I mentioned earlier, it seems like they are also slowly moving to a distributor role. For example, it seems like a new God of War game will come out on console first, then come to PC after a while. Of course, you didn't think I wouldn't mention exclusives. Unlike Xbox, PlayStation created a huge impact with its exclusive games. I know many people who bought a console just because of incredible games like The Last of Us, God of War, Uncharted, and Bloodborne. Now that you know the brands, let's talk about the consoles themselves. PlayStation 5 Pro. In summary, this is the GTA 6 console. It currently holds the title of most powerful console, but it doesn't offer a very strong reason to specifically go for the Pro version. If you have a grasp of game culture and stay constantly up to date, PlayStation 5 Pro might work for you. You can play games on the PlayStation 5 with higher FPS or better graphics. That is the only difference here. PlayStation 5 Slim. Firstly, I need to say that the PlayStation 5 has been one of the weakest generations. No noteworthy exclusive came out, and most of the released games look like they could run on PlayStation 4 Pro too. It couldn't give the feeling of next-gen. That's why serious rumors for the PlayStation 6 have already started. So why the Slim? Because boxed games are now almost completely useless. Most boxes are empty inside, and all content is still downloaded from the internet. That's why creating a digital library became the more logical option. The thing you need to pay attention to here is that the digital edition models of the PS5, as you could guess from the name, don't have a disc reader. If you need that functionality, you need to buy it separately. And in the standard version, you must pay attention to the series code. Those starting with CFI 12 or CFI 11 can be bought, but there are cooling issues and chronic problems with the CFI 10, so stay away. Xbox Series X. It was once the most powerful console, but its popularity fell quickly due to the lack of exclusives. Still, it's buyable for the right user. It's a very logical choice, especially if you want to have a fluent experience in Game Pass games. The part I emphasize here is fluent experience. Keep this in mind. I'll return to this in a bit. Also, if someone is playing games with a PC at home, it can form a great duo. You can play on the couch with Series X, and your sibling can play on PC. Cross-buy and Game Pass work great in this scenario. If you're asking, should I buy the PlayStation 5 or should I buy the Xbox Series X instead, it depends entirely on the usage style. Next up are slightly more affordable models. But before that, I want to tell you something. These videos take a long time to make, but a large majority of viewers are not subscribed and don't like the videos. This negatively affects the views. If you want to support me, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment. That way I can make more videos for you. Now let's continue where we left off. Xbox Series S. This is the cheapest option among current-gen consoles. Earlier in the video for Series X, I said, it's a very logical choice, especially if you want to have a fluent experience in Game Pass games. However, it is not quite possible to talk about the same fluency for the Series S. Being about $200 cheaper than Series X reflects on FPS.
Don't mind me watching the video. We're watching a video. I'm a little hungry, okay? Okay? I've been a little hungry lately.
And graphics performance too. It runs games at lower resolution or lower FPS. This turns it almost into a Game Pass device. For example, if you want to be able to play games like Forza Horizon 6 and Call of Duty on a budget, it can be a logical option. If your goal isn't to play fluently, but just being able to play the game regardless of its graphical performance, Xbox Series S will please you very much. PlayStation 4 Pro. Yes, it's an old console, but the reason I mention it here is its price and abundance of games. The PlayStation 4 Pro is an improved version of PlayStation 4 in every sense. Being able to play games that challenge even powerful PCs today, like Red Dead Redemption 2, God of War, and The Last of Us Part 2 for $250 is a very good opportunity. When the PlayStation 4 Pro first came out, it had a bad reputation due to excessive fan noise, and Sony made 2 revisions because of this. If you are thinking of buying a PlayStation 4 Pro, go with the ones with the code CU.
I'll be right back.
H72. I can say this series is the most stable and the quietest series. PlayStation 4 Slim. If you want to play games at a very low budget, this is the only logical option. Since it's a 10-year-old console, it's normal for it to struggle in modern games, but playing the big-name AAA games I mentioned above for $200 is profitable enough on its own. I personally recommend the PlayStation 4 Pro, but if you say, I just want to buy the cheapest model, you will have to sacrifice some FPS. The thing you need to pay attention to is making sure to buy a slim model. Slim models are affected much less by revisions with different CUH codes. There are 3 main slim revisions: CUH20, CUH21, and CUH22. The most recent one among these is CUH22. It's a model with a more optimized fan noise and power consumption. The situation is completely different in the standard PlayStation 4 models. The product code is critically important here. These models have both common hardware issues and serious fan noise problems. On top of that, they are also older. If you're going to buy a standard version, you must go for the matte-cased models with code CUH12, where all these issues were fixed. You must pay great attention to this, especially if you're thinking of buying secondhand. If you decided that you want to build a PC but don't know where to start, or if you
Building a PC is the best thing ever. If you ever played, I was a stupid person for buying a pre-built. These pre-builds with, nah, hell no. Only I will buy them. But after a while, after I was using my computer, I'd feel like this, bro. Fuck, I didn't play. I'd feel like this, bro. Hold on. I don't want to play. Man, I feel like this, bro. Bro, wait. I didn't feel like this, bro. Hold on. I didn't feel like this, bro. Hold on. Hold on, just wait. Just wait. Look. That's how I had to feel, man. Like, literally, that's how I did feel, man. No, I lied. Like, that's how I did feel, bro.
you should buy a pre-built instead, you can check out these 2 videos on my channel after this video. Before finishing this video, I want to state my personal opinion. I am a PC user. I use a PC for both my work and gaming. If I had to choose a console and my budget was limited, I would buy a PlayStation 4 Pro. It's a good choice with its affordable price around $250, cheap game options in the secondhand market, PS Plus advantage, and performance that can still be considered sufficient. Besides this, you're also able to play exclusive games, which is the most important thing making a console special. Considering that the games on the Xbox side already come to PC, PlayStation 4 Pro deserves the money you pay a bit more. And so we are finishing this video here. So which one is more suitable for you, console or PC?
PC on top.
And if you chose the console, which one is your choice among
PC on top.
these consoles? Don't forget to share your views in the comments. I'm curious about your preferences. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button. If not, feel free to dislike it. Stay mysterious until the next video.
Stay
Take
mysterious.
care, and bye.
Goodbye. Anywho, anyhow, anyway. Anywho, anyhow, anyway. This is the end of the video.